What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your third stimulus check update. First, we're going to go to the White House and hear directly on the third stimulus check bill. And then we're going to talk to another senator regarding the changes in the third stimulus check bill. And then major breaking news on stimulus bill that was just passed in the U.S. House of Representatives. This is going to be a good one. Make sure to watch to the end because yeah, there's some really good information in here. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on updates on the third stimulus check update and the other things we cover that are passed in these stimulus packages, such as mortgage and rental assistance, unemployment bonuses, student loan forgiveness, Social Security increases, mortgage and rental assistance. Yeah, there's a lot that we're covering on this channel, all different buckets of money that you and your family can claim. So make sure to subscribe down below and hit the like button for us down below if you haven't yet. It really helps out our channel. All right, first, let's go to the White House to hear from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer on the third stimulus check package.
We met for an hour and a half with the president. We had a long, serious, substantive meeting where we discussed many of the details of the bill that we have to put together. There's agreement, universal agreement. We must go big and bold. The picture of Franklin Roosevelt was hovering over all of us, and we're very much aware of that. It was alluded to a whole bunch of times. And we hope our Republican colleagues will join us in that big, bold program that America needs. The vast majority of Republican voters support large parts of the program. We want to do it bipartisan, but we must be strong. We cannot dawdle, we cannot delay, we cannot dilute, because the troubles that this nation has and the opportunities that we can bring them are so large. So we're going to all work together with this president. We are united as one for a big, bold package, working with our Republican friends when we can.
Next, let's go talk with Senate Budget Chairman Bernie Sanders, who is President Joe Biden's right-hand man and one of, if not the leader of the third stimulus check movement, about the potential changes in the third stimulus check package.
I know you were among the committee chairs who actually met with President Biden at the White House earlier today on this COVID relief plan. What sort of progress did you make in that meeting? Where does it stand right now?
Well, I think it stands in a very good place. The point that the president made that has to be made over and over again is that we are living in a moment where tens and tens of millions of working class and middle class people are hurting. These are people who are worried about being evicted from their homes. They're worried about feeding their kids. They're worried about being able to afford to go to the doctor. They're worried about seeing their kids get a decent education. They're worried about the need for vaccinations to be distributed faster than they are right now. So we face a terrible, terrible moment in American history, probably worse than any time since the Great Depression. And what President Biden was clear about is that now is the time to keep faith with the American people. The people are hurting. We're not going to turn our backs on them. We're going to go forward, and we're going to start dealing with some of these major crises in an effective way.
As you know, Senator, the president has said he's open to making some stimulus checks more narrowly targeted. Right now, they start phasing out for people earning $75,000, couples earning $150,000. Are you willing, you personally, Senator, to lower the eligibility for these checks? These are people, some of whom have lost their jobs, but many of them are still working.
No. The issue is not, I think, going below $75,000 for an individual or $150,000 for a couple. The issue is that there is some spillover if you have kids, that families making $250,000 or $300,000 may end up getting some assistance. And I think we can eliminate that. But the truth of the matter is these income levels are based on people's income of a year ago or even 2 years ago. Many of those people are hurting today. And the truth is, you could be making a family making $125,000 with a bunch of kids. You are struggling today. So what we have got to do is understand this crisis impacts the middle class, it impacts the working class, it impacts lower income people. We are in this together. Meanwhile, the very, very rich are becoming phenomenally richer. So we need policies now where the government stands up for working families and the middle class, and tells, by the way, the wealthiest people in this country, you know what? You're going to start paying your fair share of taxes.
It sounds like you and President Biden are on the same page on this issue. Senator Mitt Romney, as you well know, he says not a single Republican will vote for the current Biden relief bill, the bill that as it currently stands. We know President Biden would like to see some bipartisan support. Do you see that as a priority to make some changes to try to win over at least a few Republican votes?
No. The priority that I see is addressing the crises facing working families. When you got millions of people out there worried about how they're going to feed their kids or how they're going to get enough income to pay the rent, that is the priority that we have to address. And I think as we move down the road, you're going to see people like Romney and other moderate-type Republicans coming on board as we deal with infrastructure, as we deal maybe with the outrageously high cost of prescription drugs in this country. We look forward to that bipartisanship. But right now, tens of millions of working families, middle-class people, low-income people are in crisis. They need help. They need help now. That is the major priority that we have to address.
Are you worried, though, that you're going to need, if no Republicans are going to support this legislation, you're going to need all 50 Democrats? Are you worried about some Democrats, like Senator Manchin of West Virginia, Senator Sinema of Arizona, for example, who has expressed some concern about some elements of the $1.9 trillion package?
Well, you know, I can't speak for any other senator, but I think at the end of the day, every Democrat in the U.S. Senate understands that people in his or her state are hurting. I got to tell you that emotionally, in my own city of Burlington, Vermont, we're doing better than many other states. Hundreds of people lined up in their cars for emergency food in order to feed their families, majority of whom have never received public assistance before. That's going on all over the country. Every Democratic senator understands that. So I believe that at the end of the day, people are going to stand with the President of the United States and do the right thing for the American people. And second of all, we are in the majority today because we won 2 seats with great candidates in Georgia. And that election in Georgia became a national election. President Biden was involved, Chuck Schumer was involved, I was involved, others were involved. We made promises to the American people. And we said that every working class, middle class person in this country is going to get $1,400 on top of the $600. We are going to extend unemployment benefits. We're going to protect people from being evicted. We're going to expand health care. We are going to make sure that vaccines are distributed a lot faster than they previously had been. Those were promises made, and those are promises that have got to be kept. And I will do my best to make sure that happens.
It is always so heartbreaking when we see those people lining up in long lines simply to get some food to feed their kids. I often say it's so hard to believe, and I'm sure you agree with me, Senator, it's hard to believe we see these things here in the United States of America. So that's one of the key issues facing the country right now. Senator Sanders, thank you so much for joining.
So a couple things to address there is all of the Democrats in the Senate did vote together on the first passage of the reconciliation article in the Senate that passed 2 days ago. I'll get to the new one here in a second. Also, it looks like the income limits, at least one on Bernie Sanders was saying there, is it kind of sounded like the income limits would not be changed for 75,000 and below, but might be changed for above that. So again, this is kind of what I've expected. From what he sounded like is that maybe they'll cut the income limits off at $99,000 for a single and double that for a couple. And because he said it's under $75,000 shouldn't be changed. Of course, these are up for negotiation. This is one of the things kind of going back and forth. And President Biden did say he is open to potential changes on the income limits, but that's what I think they'll be. I think they'll have a hard cutoff at $99,000 for a single individual and $198,000 for a couple. Next up, big breaking news. Late last night, the U.S. House of Representatives passed the budget resolution, which is another name for stimulus package. I'll explain this to you here because this is it's very complicated. The procedure for the reconciliation rule to pass this bill through the reconciliation process is much, much different than any other bill that we have dealt with before. There is a lot more processes that they're passing right now We'll go over the House and the Senate here. But as you can see on this headline here, U.S. House of Representatives passes budget resolution, which is another name for stimulus package, moving forward with the $1.9 trillion COVID relief plan. The House approved a budget resolution last night on Wednesday as Democrats move forward with the process that will allow them to pass a $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief bill without Republicans. That's the reconciliation process. The Senate is expected to approve another budget measure this week to move forward with the reconciliation process also. All right, as you can see here, the House passed a budget resolution last night, a key step as Democrats push towards a vote on the $1.9 trillion relief package. So they passed this in the House, but it's kind of like another article that they need to pass, another bill that they need to pass to move forward with the reconciliation process. Remember, the reconciliation process is a more complicated process than passing a bill normally. If we were able to get 10 votes from the Republicans in the Senate, we wouldn't have to do this extra process that they're literally passing by the day right now. Approval of the measure allows Congress to move forward with reconciliation, through which Democrats can pass the aid bill or the stimulus bill without Republican support. The Senate is expected to approve another resolution this week. Reflecting the partisan divide over this stimulus package relief plan, the House passed the resolution in a 218 yes to 212 no vote. Two Democrats voted against it, while no Republicans at all supported it. Not a single Republican in the House supported the passage of the third stimulus check package for this initial vote, I will say, that has now passed. As you can see here, I know this is a little confusing, so I'm trying to explain this as easy as possible. So no Republicans voted yes on this kind of like initial vote that they need to pass the third stimulus check package with the budget resolution, with the reconciliation card. So if we had Republican support, we wouldn't need to go through these couple extra votes. And just yesterday or the day before, as you can see here, the Senate passed a procedural motion with a 50 to 49 vote to move forward with the budget resolution, clearing the way for passing more provisions included in the Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus package through reconciliation on Tuesday. So basically, we now have a bill or an article or a procedure passed in the U.S. House of Representatives and the Senate on the third stimulus check package. So they're literally passing this as we're talking, okay? So within 48 hours, they passed a bill in the House and the Senate, which is kind of the initial passage, the initial procedures of the third stimulus check package, okay? We have these extra initial procedures because we have to pass this through the reconciliation process. If we could get any Republicans to say yes to this third stimulus check package, they wouldn't need to do that. And these two votes would have passed the bill, and today we would have the bill passed. But because we have these extra couple provisions, this extra couple legislative process, they have to go through this initial thing. So what does this mean? Well, we're passing the third stimulus check package. We now have a bill or a motion that is passed in the House and the Senate. These are extra motions that have to be passed to go through with the reconciliation process. But what this shows us is that, yes, this is happening. They're already passing these now. And also, it shows us exactly what is going to happen in the next couple days as they pass this, or however, I don't know how many to be honest, I don't know how many of these they have to pass. This is a very rare situation. And it feels like each of these situations where they pass it through a reconciliation bill is different. And they've said that they have these extra legislative processes. And if we had Republican support, we wouldn't have had to do it. These two votes that just passed the House and the Senate, if there was 10 people in the Senate from the Republican side that said yes, then we would have had the bill passed. So we have this extra couple little bit of procedure to pass the third stimulus check package. So what does this mean? The bill's going to pass, okay? It's just a matter of time. and really the fine details, which really haven't been announced. I mean, I've been announcing kind of all the details as we've been hearing about them. We're expecting the stimulus checks to be $1,400 for adults, children, $1,400 for children, and $1,400 for adult dependents. Adult dependents could also get the first and second stimulus check. Those have not been released either. We're also expecting a $400 unemployment bonus that will kick in mid-March, and the unemployment bonus money will go from $300 to $400 per week and will likely extend to September 30th. We're also expecting another extension of the bonus money for SNAP and WIC and the EBT programs. We're also expecting $25 billion more for mortgage and rental assistance that you guys can claim for paying your mortgage and your rent from this money from the stimulus packages that's going out to all 50 states. Remember, the second bucket of money is going out now. And likely, as they're passing more money, literally another $25 billion, they're probably going to expand who's eligible. So if you did not get the second round of mortgage and rental assistance, when the third round comes out, they're probably going to be expanding the qualifications to cover more people. So if you got turned down for mortgage or rental assistance already from the second round that is going out to your states right now, then you might be able to claim it on the third round. And then there's going to be a fourth round that is coming from the money that's going to states and cities. There's $350 billion approximately, unless they adjust it, that is going to states and cities. In the first round, the states and cities gave back some of that money to you guys in the form of mortgage and rental assistance and state stimulus check programs like the Orange County, Florida one that passed $1,000 stimulus checks to a lot of their residents. Right now in California, there's a $600 stimulus check going out to low income families in California from the governor. That pretty much comes from the money from states and cities. So there's going to be money for states and cities, $350 billion in the third package that might come back to you in the form of state and county stimulus checks and also another round of mortgage and rental assistance. There's also $5 billion in there for utility assistance that you can get to pay your utility bills for several different months, $5 billion for that. There's so much in there. There's the $3,000 to $3,600 child tax credit that is an increase from $2,000 that they're likely going to be doing on a monthly stimulus check, direct deposited to you or sent monthly. So instead of $3,000 in a tax refund way at the end of the year, you can get $250 to $300 every single month per child. So there's a lot in this third stimulus check package. And we can see what's happening. All the Democrats are voting for it, 99% of them, and all the Republicans are voting no. So they have to do this through this reconciliation process, which they're literally passing by the day. We now have a bill or a motion passed in the House and the Senate all within the last 48 hours. So really, we're moving closer every single day. How soon will it be? Will it be tomorrow or the next day, or will it be several days? I really can't tell you because these procedures are just kind of coming out of nowhere and they're passing them. And I'm like, we didn't even know they were going to happen. And then they're telling us that they're passed. So they're passing these literally as the days go by. So really good news is that they're moving on these and they're setting it up and they're literally working towards passing it. So we're going to have the passage of the final passage of the third stimulus check package pretty soon. Question is, what's going to be in there? How much money is going to be in there? What are going to be the different buckets of money? Will we see something like Social Security increases, student loan forgiveness? We're pretty much expecting those in standalone bills, but those are possibilities. Will we see the child tax income credit? Will we see all these different things when we get the details? Who will exactly qualify? What will be the income limitations for the third stimulus check? So I will be keeping you updated on all this. We have just so much breaking news coming out right now. Make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss out on these videos. Subscribe down below and click the bell icon to all notifications. Subscribing is completely free. It just notifies you of our videos. Remember, new videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., 8 p.m., and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click the bell icon so you get notifications for at least the first 3 videos. And share this video with your friends and families so that they know about these different stimulus packages and mortgage and rental assistance and these different buckets of money that you guys can claim from these stimulus packages. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.